team that has beaten them here so far in the match was eliminated in the group stage already.
And that has kind of been, I guess, the end result that a lot of teams really faced when coming up against Naos. Just completely dominated by this Naos squad. Super fundamentally sound. A team that just splashed onto the scene, and they were pretty much, taking every check mark off, doing everything perfectly. But now this is a day where perfection has to be paramount, where performance has to be the top priority. And now we're going to go into the grand final, the opening map, Naos Esports versus Southbuilt, the Philippines' finest, and we're here on map number 1. Dax, this is going to be a hell of a series. And statistically, these things typically end 3 maps, but I think we're going the distance today just based off the plot armor we've seen from both of these teams.
Oh, look, Southbill already technically had a best of 5 yesterday, didn't they? They played 2 against Oasis, with the 2 overtimes, they went 3 against Action PH, and that was actually a really long series to my surprise, because it just stayed that close as much as possible until Southbill ran away with it in the end. So really, SBE, these guys have endured the worst, and they do have a bit of that edge in terms of the experience themselves, and of course what we've seen from yesterday. But Naos Esports, they come from the upper bracket, and they're the ones looking to try and focus up on that A side for assist. Beautiful takedown off the Kakar to start things off. Dash on in, but John a little too dangerous there on top of the container, and it's flipping right now with a takedown onto Jet instead, as is though looking to go for a closer approach towards that spawn. And as Philippe puts that spike down right behind the pyramids, closer to the right-hand side. Feels like for Naos Esports, they're gonna need to navigate through the utilities yet again, take some extra angles, and this is blurred. Maybe looking for a bit of a backstab, but Kev's would take down onto Aziz already. Naos Esports getting closer and closer. Double swing though to get the surprise onto blurred, flipping with that takedown. And Southfield right now looking a lot more coordinated from what we've seen compared to the
enemy remaining.
days. It's 3v1 though as Z goes down. Kevs can't actually get anything done. He's been clutch, but Poppy Chulo is the clutch god indeed, and he is just so staple there. SBE with a pistol win.
Very, very clean pistol round from Southfield. They get those 2 duelists down now, yes, but I'm sure that John and Ziz were more than happy to go down the Martyr there. Opening up the site, giving them that space, and then it's a backline of Southfield.
Really unexpected, especially after that first week. And in all honesty, again, who expected Naos Esports to be here before VCT? And who expected Southfield to be here right now in the grand finals after what we've seen for the past 2 weeks? So here we are right now, back into the game, and for Southfield, the earlier confidence, already a good sign for them. We'll see if they can capitalize with a gun advantage now.
I don't doubt that even with all their struggles during the group stages at Southfield, they believe that this is theirs. They're going to have to prove it here, especially against what has basically been their biggest kryptonite. You can see all sectors all throughout this roster here across this second round bye. And, well, they're certainly working out for the meantime. Jalicious able to get that kill with the Sheriff, but for the most part, everything looking pretty dry for Naos. Doesn't seem to make it look too expensive just yet.
Yeah, and I'm liking it from Southbuild. They realize, especially against the PH scene, them able to go toe-to-toe on frags has been one of the components to their success, and that's usually John's Ziz at the start, and you have someone like Flippy and Papichul later on in the end to go for the takedowns. Jeddo all the way by the spawn, tried to at least go for a tap, but only 12 HP though. It's another Southbuild Esports win incoming, and really, for SBE, that extra bit of confidence right now, it is helping them immensely. The willingness to go for the push. Sometimes, though, it is a little too eager. A few, I'd say, rookie mistakes for such veterans that some people would like to say, but it had worked. It pretty much worked yesterday, and we'll see if it's going to be working on that even more so now. So that extra bit of bite from Southfield, can that give them the edge and clip the wings of Naos Esports? Their test, though, will come as a 2-0 will lead the gun round for Naos Esports.
You touched upon, those kind of rookie mistakes, those basic stuff that they do get wrong sometimes whenever it could be few and far between. But what they do right is really what has propelled them to get to this stage. It's really been that big factor to, I guess, carry them through the humps, and that's why they're here. But this round from Naos, rifles all across, and Southbuild, they're the ones who are going to be hard-pressed to really apply some pressure here. They're going to have to do it fast and hard, close that gap, because they know the Spectres have a limited range of engagement. And still, John wins. That's exactly what they need to do, and Assist able to get the trade on Z as well before he even gets that rendezvous back to the site. So, Is this gets that opening pick, bring it to a 4v3, but a bunch of them are quite low, and Ja, he's one of those with the right pick.
And as we say about the dynamic duelist duel right now, John assists with the takedowns. Ja, they're surviving so low on the HP. But that Spectre getting up close personal absolutely huge. As this though, watching out for the flags as much as possible. He's still there waiting for a new challenger. And this is it. Assist with a third kill. Needs no help whatsoever. Kev's now all alone. And it's bonus time here for Southfield as they get that 3-0. And this is the thing. Southfield, they're pretty much not known to have these strong starts. But especially yesterday against Oasis Gaming, they went up on that first map so early on. And will we see those shades here? Can it propel Southfield right now to go further and further into these rounds? And as we've seen from the likes of teams like Action PH, having this early buffer in the first half is immensely successful coming into the second, because you have rounds to give, you can play that economy, and there are times when you want to be a little too ambitious, it blows up in your face. It's okay because you are still in the lead anyway.
That's something that is honestly super true, Dad. You know, with this team, PPGL gets a pick. You know, they're not known for starting off strong, getting a bunch of rounds, but Jalicious, he finds Ja. We've seen Southfield in the past few days, maybe like 3 times over at this point, get like 3-0, 4-0, hell, even sometimes 5-0 starts, but then the opposing side starts to come back at them, and that's been true for the most part here. Jalicious, he's gonna find a second, both the duelists being taken down here, okay, and this is honestly part of the pattern as well. You know, you see Southfield get like really good starts and then they lose an eco round, and then from then on, that's where the opposing side can come back from. So Naos, they have the man advantage here, have not retrieved a rifle. SBE, they're happily to able to give that up and go for the plant on B instead.
Yeah, double-edged sword though. They are gonna go for that B site, but honestly, Naos Esports, can they go for the guns here? They are too far off though. And Naos right now deciding to potentially congregate the forces and go for the retake instead. So the numbers are there, yes, but the guns aren't. And this is already great scouting from Flippy. Realizes by the cave. Blurred is there right behind the concrete. Micro though in behind Jet. He's getting stopped, and this is gonna be perfect here. Flippy though will get that takedown. Did Micro give up precision? Not too much. Flippy there gonna be able to get 2 instead. Naos Esports now last on full right. The classic though with a shot on the Flippy PPGL. Catches out Kevs in response, and SBE, they're all around the site. Blurred gonna be picking up a rifle. With only 20 HP. It might be a far cry of a task to actually expect from the PPGL though out in the open. Micro there with a takedown. With some great opportunities. Last player from the angles here taken by SBE. Little unfortunate for this. I heard a chuckle, I heard a giggle there, Black and Blue.
Dude, he was literally like an inch away from barely that. It's like the black radiant explosion, the event horizon of it barely touched his ankle. And he goes down to it.
It's because of the hat. I blame the hat. It's bigger than his head, so it's like, oh no, it touched the spike. And that's it. But, you know, this is 4-0 for Southfield Esports. And one thing I said about it on the panel for this map is they're just going to be able to shut down the likes of Naos, especially someone like Z. Southfield, they have the repertoire to basically wait out on the map like this. And here we go again. Assist. He is just willing to push, he is willing to fight, and he has been really the entry point of Southfield for so far. He even gets the kill on the Cavs. Kakarot fighting Johnny Fun, but this is already to make that 3. Turnabout is fair play, and a quick swipe right behind him will lead into another takedown. Is this the rampage now of the Reyna, looking for more? PPGL gonna be up close and personally, even just to anticipate Naos Esports and a potential push. But here with Z and Blurred, have the operator in hand. Z though swinging on in, gets the takedown. No trade there from Flippy, a little too late to the party. And this is Blurred here coming in from the doorway. Just wants to find an attack. Oh no, bow and arrow not going to be matching the operator whatsoever. But as this gets a 4th, here we have the dismiss. And can he get the ace? No, it doesn't. The dismiss might not have been the right call, but did it buy enough time? It's going to be closer there with the spike, but time going to be at least still doable here for Southfield, for Naos Esports rather. And it's 4-1 as Naos gets at least 1 point on the board.
Such a close round that could have went either way. Maybe dismissed half a second later. Maybe if he beat his way in the cave, he would have made it out safely, but it just doesn't turn out that way. And Naos, they finally get the round on the board, but at to what cost? At the very least, They get that operator saved. They are scrapped for cash. You can see Z, fortunately for him, has that tour de force online to use. So double operators, 2 snipers basically going to be trained down the sights of either site here. So SBE, no matter where they go, they're gonna have to face a sharpshooter looking their way.
Yeah, just the alleyways of aggression basically immediately hampered, saved by Naos Esports and Jay on the inside of the tunnel. He is spoiled and ready to strike. And that's 2 immediately for the Viper. One of the biggest strengths of Jay really is to be basically the first fragger in a round, especially on the defending side. He has so many cheeky angles on many a map. Here on Braze, he's whipping out a few more just to surprise South builds. And that being said, it's only 5v3, and now is controlling the battlefield immensely, not only with their long-range possibilities, but also that close-range encounter.
And this is, as I said, the pattern that we've seen many times. Southfield, they get these 4-0 starts, but the opposing side just find the picks that they need to start bringing things back slowly, but surely at the very least. Attacker side map, yes, but Southfield do typically struggle on the attacking side in general, no matter what map you're talking about. They find, rather than get that information that there is a player here on Zons, Neural Theft is going to have to come in huge. It's going to get the ping off as well. That forces him to dash away Blurred, but he still gets a kill before backing off. And the fact that it was Micro on that Viper drops the wall. They don't have that cover. Flippy getting tagged up quite a bit, and both SBE players are now low, but he still finds a kill. Equalizes things to 2v2, but very winnable for Naos. Papi Chulo and Flippy, perfect on the post plan, and they still win out the 3v5 in the end.
Yeah, when we say that, John Assist, they're the ones who play those entries, but when you need someone to come in clutch, Papi Chulo and Flippy the ones to rely on. And oh my Papi, he just goes at it again. Left. And it's beautiful what he's able to do here. So not only does he provide cover from himself away from the operator, Neural Theft there to get that takedown. Blurred, I think that's the right option. It's either you go for someone who's pushing and doesn't anticipate you, or you challenge that Cypher, and he still got a kill anyway. But in that 2v2 encounter, Southfield just getting a great surprise onto Naos Esports. And now this is looking a little perilous here for Naos, because we've seen it on a map like Braze. If you're down on the economy, you're not just going to be down on your luck, but you're going to be down on the range. And Southfield right now can take advantage of the gun advantage here again. Micro right now waiting for someone else to challenge. Will Jay get one here? Yes, he does. And really, Micro, such a better player. He's not going to get fooled twice. Draw with a takedown too, and in a 5v2 straight. Just Southfield, all they need to do now is walk onto a site and call it their home.
As you said, it can be very difficult to convert these eco rounds on a map like Breeze when the range simply doesn't favor anything with a smaller caliber than these rifles possess. One thing people don't really, I guess, aren't aware of is Micro has actually been longtime teammates with some of the players on the opposing side now. So he's played with Kevs and Kakarot when they were on that Fallen 5 CS days, and they're kind of like the B team of Brand back in the day, but they have bested that main roster. So when it comes into underdogs and being the overdogs, yeah.
Oh, wait, Black and Blue. So you're telling me, again, we're still saying Brand versus Brand.
Yeah, in some capacity, the core of Bren is still in the grand finals. People think there's only 3 Bren multiverse teams, as John gets a kill, and that's Secret, Bren, and South Built, but there is that DNA within this Naos roster.
So basically, Naos is kind of like their cousin?
Yeah, if anything.
Oh yeah, true, because they're probably, you know, their uncle, and then family, and that's Naos Esports. They're still, whoever, they just find ways to know each other, and I think that's one of the beautiful things since we're coming out of a eco round anyway. The one of the beautiful thing about the Valorant scene and the PH scene is because these guys are actually pretty close to each other, given the fact outside the game they were willing to hang out. Just because they've had that history together in other games, so they've matured already alongside each other, they know each other very well, and sometimes it can come out into the game, but back into the match itself, Southbuilt will be vying for that mid control.
They have taken it very far up top. This is an angle that hasn't worked out for both of these duelists the past time around, but Delicious isn't there to stop him this time. Oh, barely gets by, almost being taken down there. Ja, not able to land a shot, but they're making their way here onto the half wall. He has no idea that there's a player right behind him. Still Delicious has the better of both of the duelists, of both tips of the spears here for South Built. South Built, we've seen them come back from these kind of 3v5s. They brought it down to a 3v4, equalizing things up. It's now to a 3v3. Dex, what are we seeing here from the back line once more?
We're seeing Papichulo do Papichulo things, basically. And oh my, Micro, there we have a takedown off the jet. Kevs, though, will shut down Papichulo. And I think that's one matchup you have to watch out for here. Kevs has been the clutcher for Naos Esports. In the case for Southfield, but Papichulo is on the field. But online now, with the Viper split, Hot Fury is the call. But attack! This might be too dangerous, you have to cover! But since you're spotted by the lightning, there's the takedown there, courtesy of Kevs. It's 2v1 now, Micro gonna be hugging the wall here in behind the backside. And it's all up to him to try and psych out the opposition. But as long as Viper split eliminates, he will be exposed. Micro though, still finding the timing versus Kevs anyway. Counter up now, speaking into the rush, misses the shots at the start, but does not miss at the end. And Naos Esports will get by yet again. But the Naos Esports victories, man, they've only had one survivor so far. And on a map like Breeze, when you struggle to build up the economy, you're gonna be scrapping again for the next round.
Yeah, and I don't expect a real good full buy here. You can see Blur doesn't even have his blade, so he's gonna be hard pressed to really get a proper weapon. Actually, no, they do have barely enough there at the end of Kakarot to drop him. Flippy, such a good angle for Kevs to pop that Hunter's Fury at. Finds a tag at the first shot of it. And Kakarot getting that clutch in the end, but he was down 20 HP, man. A single bullet from anything else would have taken him down, and we would have seen another 3v5 successfully won by Southbuilt again. But Operator not in the hands of Naos. Southbuilt this time bring that long-range firepower.
And I like it when it's Ja on that ship with the Operator, because it does feel like he's a lot more, I'd say, relaxed with his approach. He doesn't go full ham like Aziz. And let's just say, you know, Aziz, that's absolutely fine. It gives you the entries, and that's why he's gotten so many MVP awards. But the other times, you just want to say, hey, chill out. Or I remember that Icebox map, we were backstage and we were talking about him on that chamber, and all I said was, rendezvous, s'il vous plaît. And into all those overtime. So there's that balance right now that Southfield really has on their duelist line. And we'll see what Ja can do after he got tagged a little bit there. Southfield, though, finding the opportunities perhaps to come into this A side, setting up the defaults yet again. Toxic Screen gonna be there, covering fires, and oh, Blurred says hello immediately. Gladness right now might try to disengage on the way, walks, sneak on by. And really for now here, they just want to hold the line. Kevs with one. Lino with the headhunter! And that is just efficiency at its prime. Null command right now to bring us back to the path. Marco gonna be able to get two, but it's Kakarot there with the takedown. Micro now with three though, and he's looking for another angle. Micro wants to go off the jet first. Kakarot just fights the side, and it's Jet with the kill from afar as Naos Esports will hold the line there. 3-6, and I feel like for Naos, I love the fact that they had that restraint to just back on the way to prepare themselves for SBE.
And you would think backing away might be the, I guess, misplay there from Naos, considering there was an Operator in the hands of Ja, and considering just, you know, that gap that they wanted to close with maybe the Spectre in the hands of Z on that chamber. Micro had a very valiant effort in the end. Ja just could not land the shot. Things could have maybe gone differently, but perhaps him being on that Operator on attack really slowed them down and would have gone better and fared more, I guess, fortunate. They were able to really have his aggression to entry into that site. But this time, not that same mistake will come in, because he's on the blades this time, which will give them, in many ways, a sharper, I guess, aggress into whichever alley they decide to take.
The alley right now might be the tunnel. Jedo contested yet again, but when he's that far, Southfield does struggle to find that target. And the flash right though comes on time. Papichulo finds Blurt there, and here comes Ja with the blade, but misses wildly. But how does he survive up in the air? Kakarot cannot hit the shot, and instead Ja shows him how it's done. Micro with the kill though, and South now
player standing,
navigating themselves towards that B side. Surely they've taken command. Ja with the kill onto Kevs even, and this should be pretty much a secure round for Southfield. So well played with the kills, unless Z, yeah, maybe 6 bullets for the headhunter, rifle in hand, 2 away from the tour de force. Might have an arsenal here, black and blue, to play the clutch.
Definitely so. If he gets that too, as you said, he's going to get his ult, and more importantly, SBE, they've got both of their duelists quite low. If he can find Micro, especially here, this is going to be huge. And Flippy, those utility postman players, but it doesn't come to pass. Not even a single one in the clutch, potentially. 7-3. What am I seeing from SBE here? Ja just, he dodges a flash, gets his way, gets a good angle to, take down Kakarot, but neither of them really connecting. In the end, he pulls out the gun from his holster and says, well, it's a gunfight. Let me finally use a darn gun, and gets the job done.
Yeah, it's respect. It's respect, man. Listen, because if you miss, I will miss too, and then we'll go again. But you were saying something, right?
All I was going to say is maybe there at the end, after Micro gets a kill, it would have been, rather before that, it would have been more beneficial for him to just gamble the right click and hope something happens in that one. Instead of how that went. But hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is. And in the end, Southville again with the round win. Now, I've noticed here something black and blue lately in their runs here in the playoffs. It has been, surprisingly, the Southville attack that has truly stepped on up. And here we go again. Case in point, SBE up on the first half when they start things off on the attacking side. And it is such a telltale sign of their evolution. And I feel like for Southville, those are the biggest strengths that they have, the perceived weaknesses from before. That ascent map, that offensive side. It's been helpful, but you tried to be sneaky, but you missed the shot.
Where you
and you cannot get the execution or the assassination in this instant. It's 5v3 so quickly here. Southville looking to scramble towards that B side, and what could have been beautiful from Naos Esports apparently is quite the dud. And here, oh my.
Uh-oh.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, that's it. Unfortunate there for Z. Maybe use the ADS here in the Headhunter, as now it's Delicious tagged up by what he was trying to destroy, or even maybe kind of limbo under. It just doesn't work out that way. He's got a Spectre, tags Job quite a bit, but he's not going to win the duel fight against Papi Chulo. 8-3 on this attacking side. To be fair, favored on Breeze. As he said, Dax, the Southfield are never really known for their attacking side, so for them to be going in here on, by the way, the only map that Pro doesn't play, the team captain, says a lot about how prepared they are to play today.
No, I keep saying it though, like with Flippy and roster, they have that extra bit of aggression to help them when they only play a single duelist and Flippy's there for something like Sky on the flashes. He's that extra punch that you can have, and case in point right now, Southville, they have a bit more of a high octane spree in this configuration, and Ja decides to just step on the dreams of Z there. You hear the Chambers say they are so dead. Apparently he's the one who was fallen immediately in the halls. That will echo already into the round, and it's a huge pick off to start the last round of this first half.
I guess you get what you wish for there. He starts off with the op. You saw him also buy a secondary rifle just in case he needs it. Man, the RGX is all the fire now, isn't it? It's all the talk.
It has like stats.
I've always been a believer of the RGX. It was one of the first Vandal skins I always used, but then
so you're saying to me you were RGX pioneer. You were there before it was cool.
I was there since the start, and people were like, why RGX, man? It's so big. Like, that's why. Big gun for big jobs to be done.
I love it. Always for Black and Blue with the statements, but Micro right now, it's all about these small efforts. And Jer, are you getting poisoned? Jer, are you okay? You got it. Oh, he needs to go for the push, and he will actually get the takedown with the Flippy. As Micro will trade him, but now Esports able to get the neutralization. Josh already with the infiltration behind the pyramid, and he even gets the takedown on the Blurred Kakarot, though, watching those back lines. And that will be the fall of the Jet. 2v2 right now. And in this instance, I'd like to call here, Micro going for the rotate, Papi Chulo in the middle, and we've seen the impact potential of the Cypher with the takedowns. But really, you have to trust your teammate here, Micro. Just run. Do not hesitate, because you need to put that spike down in time. This is going to be a bit closer to finish.
Yes! Time.
I think he made it.
He's got time. Barely enough time to get the spike down. 15 on that one.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, but Kakarot, great on the deny! And now he has that 0 point to find the information. Papi Chulo barely out of range, but he is in a place nobody would expect. They're not even checking towards his mid position. They're going to be totally focused on that backside. All he's got to work with, though, are those cyber cages and the tripwires. 1v2, Papi Chulo, one of the most consistent clutchers on this team.
One enemy remaining.
Now gets a tap, and now he knows where Papi Chulo is. Kevzo also very consistent on these clutches, keeping him at bay. Taps the spike, goes for the off angle, sprays down, but he's forced off of it. Not even wanting to try and commit to that fight. But Poppy Chulo, the daddy of it all, brings home the bacon, the meal, and 9-3. The curse could be real, but not for the meantime. The ROG clutch for South Built.
The sizzle from Poppy Chulo. And that was the matchup I'm looking for. Kevs versus Poppy Chulo. Who will be able to basically go for that takedown at the end? And just because Micro went for that marathon, it gave them a chance. It gave them that hope. And Poppy Chulo was the one who took that baton home. But Cyberkey just such a bother with the sight lines and time. Not on the side of Naos Esports whatsoever. 3-9 though. And we've been talking about superstition being a thing here so far. Now, Esports right now, they're going to have to prove something on the attacking side. But thing is, since they ran the chamber rather than that Reyna that Z popped off last time they faced off against South Built, they're not going to have that immediate potency. And they're going to have to play a bit more for the pick side rather than the usual ultra guess that we see from them.
And while this might be an attacker side map, the composition, as you said, without the Reyna, kind of suggests that they would be doing better on defense. They did. Information has been gathered, and this is the exact same play that South Built ran on their pistol round. It seemed to work out. Blurred able to find one, but the duelist here once again from South Built, holding things down at the start of the round. You can expect that backline to come in later. Ja, up close, he gets that kill on a G-Licious, just spamming the Sheriff his way. But Z, once again, this is his map, and Kevs is there to back him up. Micro down to a 1v2. He's coming from behind. They don't have much idea, but they will soon as that trap is destroyed. They now know he's coming here from the caves, and they're going to try and send him and keep him there for the meantime.
And this is it, 2v1. Microdog, can he actually make the play work? Spike gonna get planted. Zeno, he gets flanked a while ago. Will he go for the takeout? It's Kevs instead! And a pistol win here from Naos Esports. Gotta say though, for Naos, extra bit of confidence. Little bit of deja vu though at the start. We saw again the Jet dashes in on the container, punished the same way. But for Naos Esports right now, their time for momentum and their time to have
4-9, and perhaps maybe throwing it 8-4 would have been better if superstitions are to be believed. As 9-3 curse, well, we've seen it happen many a time over. Oh, a bookworm here. Hello, Jimmy. 4-9, as I said, you know, the only things they really got to work with here is Ja on that Sheriff. For the most part, South Built will want to play those close angles. That cam confirms there is a player here towards that Halls. In his hands, the hunting rifle of that Marshal. Because of that information gathered, it sends Naos the opposite way, trying to take mid control instead. They know the long range is where they are going to be more favored for. But even with that SBE, they think they have the read. They've kind of been faked for this A push. The B site is completely open, so not looking too well right now. For South Built on this one, if they can go for the retake and maybe get a few kills in, then things could go differently later in the half. But for the meantime, clean round for Naos looking so far. It's going to be very difficult for South Built to even get within reaching distance of finding some picks here.
I mean, they have a group of them to try at least to go for the contest. But since the guns are not going to be too much in their favor here, and Ja looking for a bit of the exit, breaks the trademark. But beyond that, I think that's it. Now Esports going to be able to get a clean round. Will Southwell, though, just go gung-ho anyway with the pistols that they have as they go for the full eco here. Really, in these situations, though, you can see the respect that they have for each other. Now Esports, they got the clear sightlines, they got the clear push, and Southwell, they're not even trying, they're not even bothering. They're just gonna decide, guys, it's time. Hold hands, let's go on side. For 1 with 2, and everyone gonna be falling there. I feel like for Kakarot, he just wanted to at least get some kills for his ultimate points to get that null command earlier on. Does give him at least 2 of those takedowns there, but beyond that, South Built just said go next as we go into the bye.
And part of that as well is
that's a good spot.
With them, obviously, you know, not dying, it's not going to give credits and economy to the opposing side now. More importantly, if they're on Spectres, they're going to force them to stay on those Spectres to try and go for a bonus instead of them dying and maybe reinvesting into this round with better guns, you know, rifles abound. Still though, you see him purchasing that Vandal, and there's some Bulldogs here on the side of Naos, which can definitely bite. Very, very painful, especially now that, you know, some love has been given to it, and Blurred He might only have a Marshall, but that isn't saying a lot because he can do so much work with this.
I mean, that's the thing. Naos invested a lot in that last round, and since it's not just the Spectres, the Bulldogs there into play, they can still contest the range anyway with the arsenal that they have. Vandals at the ready on the other side. John now creeping on closer and closer, gets hit by EK. All the way here on the side. Takedown finally does it versus Kev's Jetto with the trade quickly. Doxy going to set one up to try to get that degree of separation. Southfield be able to get the takedown off the Viper. Z there with the answer off the Aziz. And now Esports now bringing the tide back in their favor. 3v2 though, Flippy and Micro. We right behind the
Last player standing.
And in the middle, it's Kakarot walking beside these pyramids. Kakarot now gonna be able to get the third. The null command is set for the next round. And nicely down here by Naos. They're the ones who get their rounds here. Oof,
Bonus working out for Naos there. You got the Marshalls, the Bulldogs, everything connecting, and Kakarot just making full use of that Bulldog in his hands.
One enemy
That's what we
remaining.
talked about, you know, those rifles, the fact that they had them. People underestimate just how much damage that Bulldog can do, both at range and up close. SBE, they find that out firsthand. Not a single ultimate online for them, but now if they really want to turn the tide of things here, things get dicey. They can pop that null command to just shut everything down from South Build. So all South Build got to rely on here are these sheriffs. They can be very thrifty with these.
Yeah, flip-flop like the words we spit. And right now, Jen and Ja, brothers from perhaps different alphabets, different letters. But here we have it now. It's Jet with a better gun and it's a takedown. Naos Esports, all they have to do here is play in a tight, clean manner and make sure that they still are able to stay away from the lethal range of Southfield. But this is the big test, Papi Chulo. You know he can make miracles happen, but this time, it will not be this water into wine. Micro now, the only one left. Kev's still not paying attention. Line it up, Micro. Line up properly. He can't find it, and now he gets seen, and he will get taken on down. These backstabs with, you know, the sheriffs or the headhunters not really working right now here in Breeze.
And now Naos, they're able to build up that economy and cut the lead down to just 2 rounds, basically 7-9. Timeout to be called here, a tactical one by South Build, just to kind of help them get back on their feet, stop bleeding once more. Now it's a very, very clean eco round for them to make that clean. Really.
And then later on, they'll start losing these rounds, allow the opposition to get close. And from what we saw yesterday, you still win, yes, but in the narrowest of margins. So it's a little dangerous, but at least it's one way to mitigate things right now for Southfield. Of course, we're all on the camp right now, I feel, especially on the talent side. That if Southfield was a lot cleaner on how their VCT PH run was, they would be the ones with the power position over everyone else. But the reality here is, it's the ultimate now into play. And now Esports is on the side.
Look at this wall coming in, and Blur just finding Micro trapped there on the yellow position. Did not find his way on out. Southfield trying to go for a hard read on that stack towards B side, but it's not going to work out as Papi Chulo does get taken down. Flippy is able to answer back in a Delicious, and that drops their smoke wall. But still, it's a 4v3, not an operator invested here on the South Build side, so it's retake possible. But Assist, he's been tagged up. Will they even check yellow this close angle? Shock dart coming on in. I don't think they will. He's Blur. He finds that kill on the job, and Assist cannot follow up as well. Very, very clean round from Naos once again, and we're looking like a tied game here.
Whenever we see that null command, it's just the symbol of victory for Naos Esports. And in all honesty, of all the teams I expect that can handle that null command push, compared to anyone else on the PH scene, I can expect Southfield to at least know how to play without those abilities based from what they came from. But the thing is, this is just the bread and butter of Naos Esports. They get the suppress, they get the zone out without the abilities coming their way, and that is enough space that they need to adjust accordingly on the fly and get those victories. So, one away now from the tied scoreline, and from what we've seen here, Naos Esports gonna get a clear path towards this B side. Dash on in for Blurred, realize the situation that no one is home, and this is immediately a post plant to start things off.
Ooh, they do burn the ult on that though. Trying to make sure that they can secure the round and tie things up with South Build. They know that South Build can be very, very ferocious on these eco rounds. Try and play to their best of their ability to make it safe, really secure it, give any economy towards South Build. Blades connect here for Ja, and they still do land in the end as Kevs is there for the trade immediately, not letting that one get away too easy. Here comes the recon ball. Shot out by Poppy Chulo. That gives him away. Perfectly placed and perfectly timed here by
Player
Jets.
remaining.
He finds the angle on the head as Maestro is able to get one kill. Probably not anymore. Blurred will shut him down. And now they tied the game up.
Silver lining for South Builds. They get 2 kills, they get the Viper spit away, but here we have the reality yet again setting in. This was a 9-3 scoreline a while ago. Now it's 9-9, and what we've seen here is Naos Esports on the attacking side.
Enemy
This is
remaining.
where they can absolutely shine with their waves, with their forces, and with this kind of push. I gotta ask you, Black and Blue, for South Build, how will they get out of this hole? Because it really feels like here on the defensive side, it's something that they're more catered for. But at the same time, Naos Esports is just hitting them at the right sites at the right times.
I guess the fact that there's this KO on Kakarot has been such a struggle for Southwood to try and counteract. Every time they match up against Naos, it's probably been the biggest factor of why Naos are so good at counteracting SBE specifically, and any team for that matter. But Z, there's nothing about that here. He just simply wins the gunfight. Flippy's able to win a second here. Getting 2 kills is huge, and the fact that he's gotten those spears away from Naos' side is going to make their tribe a lot more difficult to try and get themselves within those sites. So his jaw goes down. They have potential to save this operator, but is this, he wants to stick with a weapon at hand as the rotation from Naos are coming towards A.
And that was just beautiful utility again from Flippy. Just got the scan, figured out how Naos Esports was going to push through that toxic screen, and that was the show for that 2K assist. So it misses again, and that's a little rare here from Southfield. Both John assists falling to the hand
You
of
want to
C
play? Let's
because
play.
of those initial peaks anyway. Now the Tour de Force looking for a bit of revenge as the rendezvous is set up as well. But Hunter's Fury now the call, avoiding the shots, not wanting to get tagged whatsoever. Flippy here, aiming towards the right-hand side. Jet though in the meantime, but take out off the micro. But it's Flippy with a 3K anyway, and here he comes. Poppy Chulo is there. Can Flippy get one more? No, it's Jet this time with the clutch for Naos Esports side, and they will take the lead away from Southfield. They just keep winning, and this attacking side has been all down in the second half.
Dax, today is a day of superstition, and it seems like the 9-3 curse is definitely alive here. That's not to put away, you know, what Naos have done to get back into this, because they have been playing spectacularly, but Z, timing, favoring him there, just dodging left and right, and just not able to land the shot as well. Delicious at the end, that dipping in and out, and this is a map that Z has showed himself to be very, very capable in. Once again, South built, or at the opposing end of that.
Yeah, just again, the positions that Naos had in the first place, and again in the second place with Jet there, those are just instrumental for their success. As soon as they get on the site, it's quite a mystery, truly, on where Naos is absolutely stationed, and as soon as you realize, you're already getting shot up by the opponents. It's Southfield now. Getting those shades of the past here. Z will get the lineup into 2. So, yo, Z popping off. Second half check. SBE struggling on the economy check. This was the playbook of Naos last time on Braze, but Poppy Chulo and assist. Here comes Blurred with the Blades. Kakarot there peeking after the target was the priority. Poppy Chulo though corrects his aim, and he's still in this game versus Z. And it's 2v1 now, but again, when it's Poppy on the field, there's always the possibility here for South Builds.
1v2. Neural Theft a bit far out of range. He's gonna have to not be able to use that for the meantime. He does have his cam to gain information if it is so needed, if he can find the right timing for it. Oh, I think he's gonna find the timing here on Kakarot. He spots him, knows that he can buy this time, knows he can just walk by him and stay behind him. Wait for the second pick. He's gonna go for the knife here, and he gets it on Kakarot as well, showing him, hey man, what's up? All right, don't we have a game to play? It's still down to the 1v1. This is gonna be so difficult to win this clutch versus Blurred with an operator. He knows that this round is done, and it's going to have to be the one he's gonna give up. He gets at least, you know, a bit of a consolation prize at the end, but 11-9. Naos, very, very good from them. But still, everything considered, a decent eco from South Build.
He wins the mental battle versus Kakarot. That's for sure. He just stalked him and skulked him. And really, Poppy Chulo just so consistent again and again in these situations. Maybe though, if he just shot him immediately, ran onto the site, could have given it a chance at least to go for the defuse on the spike. But Nary, the reason it was Nico, as you said, for South Build, and they got some good damage versus Naos Esports. And every bit counts. Naos Esports has been on an absolute tear. And at this rate, they should have money for many of the succeeding rounds unless South Build is the one who strings along the wins instead. So Naos pretty much set for life, pretty much set for more of these fights. With Blurred ready with the operator. Again, they're looking for those range distances, those advantages perhaps they can take control of and pick apart South Build.
Biding their time. Naos know that, you know, with this operator in the hands of Blurred, proper thing here to do would be to wait for South Build to overpeak, to maybe make a mistake. South Build, they are prone to doing that. Trying to take these gunfights, as you said, with, you know, the KO being on the opposing side. Be very difficult to back away after getting those initial kills. God, he's been spied out, but he still commits to the fight, doesn't dash out to safety. Just leaves Aziz and PPGL very close though. And now they popped an all command and the recon at the perfect time. They're going to be dead to right. PPGL finds the kill on Kakarot, but he's not going to be able to escape anymore as Blurred is there to get the trade. So he does get taken down. They've been pinned by the recon as well. But still a 4v2.
30
Them taken
seconds
down
left.
very low though as Flippy holding on here for
Spike
South
planted.
Build.
I mean, they got the suppress still. That's the thing. No escape whatsoever for South Build. And with the robot on the floor, it was still the beacon of hope for Naos Esports. Instantly, it will be them getting the post plant yet again. Watching doorway go for the push of Micro. Flippy drops it on down to
One
assist
enemy
his
remaining.
teammate. But Flippy there. Flippy just gets free
player
immediately.
standing.
Shot their flies on by. Micro is there for the takedown. And while Blurred gets 4, it's the one that SBE needs to stop the bleeding against Naos Esports. We're going to double digits for both sides. 11 to 10. And South Build still alive.
Actually, even if Micro didn't get the kill there, I think it would have almost secured the round, depending how time went, as long as Micro stayed alive, because I believe that shot dart hit
One
him
enemy
right
remaining.
on the money, hit him right directly. Let's see if it actually does connect. Well, maybe not, but could have potentially finished him off if he was still within it. 11 to 10, they do not save the operator here, believing that aggression might be their best way of protecting their sites.
It's that kind of plays like, you know, I'm going down, you're going down with me, for sure. Whereas Shock Dart flies there to the other side. Thing is though, these South Build that still had that numbers, and again, just if you don't have PPGL, you can rely on someone like Flippy to bring in the impact in those situations. Of course, Veteran Cool from when Pro is playing, he's there to go for that final takedown. Micro, same case. It's South Build Esports right now. At least get back a bit of that confidence on the defending side. And we'll see if Naos Esports can get this momentum back. Thing is, though, operator here for Blurred. And this is a heavy investment for Naos Esports. If they lose this, they might be put in a potential eco state. Tripwire now gonna get broken. Jet will be the one to at least take it down. But thing is, Naos Esports, they have a lot of forces towards the hallway. More so than before, and with Z opening things up even more so here, from the middle and more, then Naos Esports, they can go for that A site.
Yeah, gonna be one of the backlines for defend here. Aziz, he's been spotted on the side. He's popped his ultimate, but you know that he loves to try and push these type of smokes and mollies. Will be able to get the kill though. He's very, very committed. Only finds that one kill. He's gonna be found for him. Here comes the ultimate now to try and secure that post-man scenario. We've got the recon to try and spot him out, and they drop it. Perfect timing here from Flippy on the recon and on the shots with the spam as well. Ja, he has information. There is Kakarot on the back of that side there towards the Ivy side. No more dash from him. It has been burned. They do have this Aldro to get information. They're gonna spot him out on the bricks, and they do get the trade-off 1-for-1. They know Kakarot's on the site. They have to assume that within that cave, there's gonna be another player as well. Kakarot has to come in big here, but Ja's the one to go even bigger. 11 to 10. This could be tied up, but Kevs, he brings it to the 1v1. Smoke not available anymore for Micro. He's gonna have to go huge here. And he does connect the shot. Things are tied up, Dax, and we're going the distance because 11 to 11, it shall be set.
What is up with South Build? In all honesty, why do they need to make it this close, you know? Is it really the sheer willpower of the other team? Is it when South Build starts dropping the ball then picks it back up?
One enemy remaining.
Despite that, despite the trends that we've been seeing, we are in for
Player
a treat
standing.
if these are gonna be the score lines for our map. With Micro there, 1v1, he's got this. We saw it last time, we saw it this time. For South Build right now, they are back on the board. Naos Esports though, This is gonna be another buy for them, but this is what I was talking about. Kakarot,
Right here.
Kakarot, hello? What do you got in your arsenal? Finally makes it in time, but Kev's here. Quick contact perhaps versus Aziz. Doesn't want to get baited by the orb though. This is temptation right in front of him. The apple of Eden, and here comes the snake going for the push for the punish. But apparently the original sin has not been set. No takedown as of yet, but you can see here already. It's Naos Esports knocking on their doors, and the inside now gonna get the pressure, getting it, but Poppy Chulo with the takedown. As gonna get 1-4-2, and with Poppy getting back to cover, he's still alive, he's still safe. Even gets the intel there. That is how, my friend, just black and blue. You can see for Poppy Chulo, it's all about those decisions being made at the right time. And with the intel right now given to SBE, Naos Esports is forced to go somewhere else.
He's such a cerebral player here, Poppy Chulo, and that's where he's really brought his value to his team. Such good shot selection and positioning. And that smartness from him really helps cement him as one of those really big brain sentinels we've got in the scene. But they do get one orb closer to that null command, which we've seen, you know, from Naos be pretty much a turning point and really winning them every single time they pop that null command. It's so hard for a team like South Build to even fight back when they don't got their ultimates up. The thing is, they get the plant here though, and that 100 here a bit too late. G-Licious is gonna find Ja though, although that was Ja, who was low HP already. That gives the information away that there is someone way down towards mid. This is still winnable. It's gonna be very difficult now for South Build to get themselves within the fight now that the null command has been popped.
It's all about the concentration though here from South Build, and here comes Poppy Chulo yet again. But with the angle,
Last player
Flippy
standing.
will get the trade though, and now Kakarot versus Flippy in this scenario. Null Commando running on out, still has 0 point for an extra suppress. With quick little tap and through the peering glass, we will see the window be the place to be for Kakarot. Flippy though staring front forward, peeky right now, doesn't even get to half, might not have the time, and now is the time to put themselves on map point. 12-11. Again, decision making here, allowing Naos Esports to get that win.
Very smart by Kakarot to fall back towards that B main window. And such a great lurk here by Delicious, spotting the barrel out of Ja, just finishing him off. Kevs, what a position by him. Nobody would have expected him to be there. And you certainly saw that SBE, they had no idea that he would be playing in such a committed and difficult to check position from that fight. Now though, weapons, nothing really on the board for South Build. Are we going in overtime, or will we call this map number 1 from the 9-3 curse of Naos?
Yeah, superstition, scary thing. And VCT PH, and we'll hear for Naos. Right now, they might be smiling with the run that they've had here so far. Tag though comes, going for his own outro instead. But see, where did that come from? The tour de force. Well, at least give us the resounding call. That's the first frag, not even the second. This is what the chamber does best. Use that ratio advantage. Micro right now, caught with the rock in the hard place, but does get the takedown off the lead. Flirt down wary. Micro with 2, getting a third, though he can't flirt down with the blades. But apparently right now, that South Build is desperately looking for Micro, giving them a bit of a chance, and Aziz is there to go for one more takedown. 2v2 now as we're here on B side. Guardian plus the blade. Poppy Chulo though only gonna have that sheriff, and we'll see if he can navigate on through yet again with the side closer though. Sees the target on the other side. Gentle with the takedown, and Blurred finally gets the final slice to give Naos Esports that final point. It's still perfection here, black and blue, in this head-to-head. Another victory for Naos Esports overall, and it's the first map for them in the best of 5.
A heartbreaker for loss. You can see just how much that win meant to them. When they were down 9-3, the curse comes in and gets them past the finish line there. What a win from Naos, especially being down with such a huge deficit. But South Build could not confirm.